back.
The green thing is running.
Bobby, sometimes you're right, sometimes you're wrong.
All right. Oh, you were pretty fast. All right, everybody. Hello and welcome to another edition of Fids Talk today on the Fids Talk Sports Network. I am your host, Bobby Finstock. There's the other host right there, Fish Tank Hank. Fish Tank, I know you're a little under the weather, but besides that, how are you doing, sir? You're muted though. Unmute the mic. There it is.
I'm doing great. We had a show. Last night, and that was really good. I had a good time with my my adopted son, Evan.
Yes, you guys look like you had a lot of fun last night. It was good. We had to do the bandwagon because Thursday you couldn't do it. But you guys, if you guys have not seen that show, go ahead on Thursday nights, 8:00 Eastern. Fish Tank Hank and Evan Posner on the Fids bandwagon. If you don't want to hear all that negative, whatever you call it, tune into the bandwagon. They put a positive spin on things, or at least they try to. Or Fish Tank tries, and Evan just keeps going back. But but that's neither here nor there. But anyway. Let me just thank everybody for tuning in, whether you're watching on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Facebook. We appreciate you. Come over to YouTube if you haven't yet and smash that like and subscribe button. And yeah, it's week one. It's official.
It's official. Today is the day.
It started on Thursday. The Lions upset the Chiefs, which was pretty damn cool. Okay.
I was flipping out. I was like, yes, yes, yes. I tell my wife before the game, I'm like, you want the Chiefs to lose and the Lions to win. And she's like, the Lions, huh? She's like, I think they can win. And I said, yeah, that's what I put on Twitter. I think they're going to win.
Yeah, you put it out there. I saw that. And yeah, I the way I explained to my kids, because I was watching a game and my son's like, who do you want to win? And I was like, well, there's a thing. Who do I think's going to win? Who I want to win? You want the Lions to win because that pushes the Chiefs down. If the Dolphins can beat the Chargers, the Dolphins are already automatically start with their first foot up. But I thought, obviously what most people thought, the Chiefs were going to win. But lo and behold, the Lions, Dan Campbell, Hank, were right. The Lions officially won, and it was a great start. There's no asterisk. I think that was a terrible thing to say for Mike Tirico because Travis Kelce and Chris Jones didn't play. There's an asterisk on this win. No, there wasn't. The Lions won fair and square. I thought it was a great game. It was a fun start to the season. But we're most excited for tomorrow. The Miami Dolphins play the Los Angeles Chargers. Week one, officially. Real football is back, Fish Tank. Before we get started with the show and what we have lined up, how excited are you for tomorrow's game?
Well, I just went to the bathroom. Otherwise, I'd be so excited that, I'd want to pee my pants at this point in time. But look, the excitement is real, and it should be real. Miami lacks depth, but you know what? We're just starting. And when we start out, we're healthy, we're ready. The team has practiced. It's gone through its phases over the off season. We should be ready. I mean, it's not gonna be an easy task. Go out west, play the Chargers first. It's not gonna be a simple task, but we're gonna talk about that.
We are, and as we go on, let's just talk about where this started. And let me just again welcome everybody for tuning in and just acknowledge too, as our show is the channel is continuing to grow, which is awesome. A lot of great content on the Fids Talk Sports Network. Again, Fish Tank Hank, Evan Posner on the bandwagon on Thursday nights. Of course, me and Fish Tank here every Saturday. We're currently at 964 subscribers, which is pretty cool. We have super chats now and super sticker. I don't know how that all super thanks. So if you guys feel like supporting the channel, hit this, any amount helps. I appreciate it. If you want to go ahead and do that, that'd be great. It's there in the comments there under super chat. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into this, and let's talk before Fish Tank we get into all the mumbo jumbo. Let's talk about last year's game very quick. Okay. And obviously the Dolphins and the Chargers played last year in week 14. The Chargers did beat the Dolphins. It was 23-17, but it was a bad game for Miami. Coaching wise, offense, defense, it wasn't a good game. You know, a lot of people say, hey, it's the quarterback. Hey, it was the coach. It was all around a bad game for the Dolphins.
Yeah.
The Dolphins finished 9-8 last year. Chargers finished 10-7. Dolphins, of course, finished the season with the 6th overall offense, with this 18th overall defense, where the Chargers with the 9th best offense and the 20th best defense. So pretty even out, if you think about it. It was two even out teams with two young coaches. Tua, of course, finished last year's game 10 of 28, 145 yards, a touchdown, and a QBR of 29.9 and 65.3 fish tank. Not good. Where on the other side of that, Herbert finished 39 of 51, 367 yards, 7.2 average pass, a touchdown, 70.7 QBR, and 102.3 quarterback rating. Both rushing attacks were not great. Dolphins had 92 yards total rushing. Chargers had 82. The receivers, obviously our leading receiver was Tyreek with 4 receptions, 81 yards, and a touchdown. Our next best one was Jalen Waddle with 2 receptions, 31 yards. Mike Williams was 116 yards. Keenan Allen, 92 yards. Austin Eckler, 59 yards. Joshua Palmer, 53 yards. So you kind of see why Miami fell short in that game. It was just a bad game for the Dolphins. Let's start this off first. I think we both know where we're going in this game. But before we get into the predictions and towards the end, Fish Tank, I want to ask you this. What is more important tomorrow? Talking about the quarterbacks of this game. We talked how Tua struggled last year in this game, and Josh and Justin Herbert, which I do remember pregame, you were saying, hey, we cannot let Herbert air us out. He cannot air it out. And that's exactly what occurred. We thought it was a closer game. It was a close game, but it was lower score than we both thought. But he did air it out. So you were right. They should have not let him do it. They did it. So I'm going to ask you again now for year 2 of this. What's more important? For Tua to have a better game than 145 yards and a touchdown with a 65.3 quarterback rating, or do our defense have to force Justin Herbert to have a worse game than 367, a touchdown, and a 102.3 quarterback rating?
You know, neither.
Okay.
I have another option.
Go for it.
Tua is going to throw between 300 and 400 yards tomorrow. So that negates that part of it. I think Herbert will still put up his numbers too. I think it's more a matter of our defense and our secondary is better than their secondary. And when these two start airing it out, which Tua's going to have to, he's not going to have a choice. He's going to have to throw the ball. You can't just run the ball against the Chargers and expect to win, because you won't. And Herbert's a big reason of that. So I guess it's kind of a mixed bag for me is what I'm trying to say. There was no one or the other. It's a little bit of both, because I think Herbert's still going to get 300 and some odd yards or 300 yards or whatever. He's still going to get his yards.
So
but he's
what
also going to get picked off a lot too.
That's the hope. So what I'm hearing, though, I know you're saying it's kind of equal, but I think what you're really trying to say, because you're saying Tua's going to throw for 300 to 400 yards. They have to pass the ball. They can't run it. So in essence, you're saying, hey, Tua has to have a better game. Tua has to have a better game in order to.
Well, Tua's going to have a better game. Yeah, he has to have a better game, but our defense definitely needs to step up too, though. So it's both of them. You know, our defense. Last time we played, that they looked horrible against him. They looked horrible. And I don't think you're going to get that with 2 head coaches, one coach in the offense and one coach in the defense. I don't think you're going to see those problems on defense again. So it's kind of a combination of both. And Tua's been in the system. Now, this is his second year in the same exact system. The wide receivers are more comfortable. Everybody's more comfortable with the whole thing that's going on now. again, I have my same concerns, but we're gonna find out what's going on.
Absolutely. For me, it would be that the Dolphins defense, we know all the hype. We know because of Vic Fangio, Cam Smith, we lost Jalen Ramsey, which bites. That would help what I'm about to say. I think the Dolphins have to limit that passing game. They did very good against the running game last year, but they struggle against the passing game against Justin Herbert and company. Again, Mike Williams, 6 receptions, 116 yards and a touchdown. Keenan Allen, 12 with 92. Austin Eckler, the running back, 8 of 59. And then Joshua Palmer right after that with 4 of 53. They got Quentin Johnston, their rookie receiver they drafted, who's very good as well at a TCU.
Yeah.
But the running game, again, Austin Eckler, who's one of the better running backs receiving and running, he only had 45 yards. So he did have a touchdown, though. But if Miami could hold back Herbert, which will go to the keys of the game, force him to make mistakes, rattle him, hold back that offense, lower that passing yards. And Tua maybe 200 yards. Even if Tua had 145 to 200 yards, if you could hold back that passing game of the Chargers, I think the Dolphins do have a legit shot to win the game. Of course, we'll go into our predictions later. So I hear you. I agree with you. I get it. For me, though, I would roll with, Justin Herbert has to have a worse game than Tua having a better game. Because the Dolphins could win with Tua having a not so great game if the defense steps up and the Dolphins do what I hope they do on offense tomorrow at 4:00 Eastern.
Well, it was basically a one-score game we lost by.
It was. But we both know, at the end of the day, it was a one-score game, but we both know last year it was an ugly game. Mm-hmm. It wasn't a good game for Miami whatsoever. It wasn't like if the Dolphins would have lost against Baltimore after being so far back and they came all the way back, and let's say Baltimore won in the end, then it'd be like, no, the Dolphins were coming back. They were fighting, and they did. Where this game was like, you had that feeling throughout they weren't going to win it because they just were totally off. Yeah, I believe that's different tomorrow. It's week 1. Yeah, there's injuries. Yeah, there's some questions, but fairly fresh start of the season, chip on the shoulder. Miami knows that this game is huge. Every game this season for the Dolphins has playoff implications, in my opinion. Every game is going to matter for Miami. Yes. It's not like we're tomorrow. If tomorrow night after post game, knock on wood, God forbid, Dolphins lose, it's not like, it's only week 1. No, it's a big deal. Miami, every win's going to count, especially against these AFC teams. So we'll get to the end. You know what
I really like, Bobby?
Yes, sir.
I like the fact that the Bills and the Jets have to play each other right off the bat.
I love it.
I love it. Monday night, I'm going to be enjoying that too.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Because one of them has to lose and shut up.
That's right. And you know what I mean? I'm going to be honest with you. You know who I need to lose is I'm happy with either one, but I think the Jets need to lose week 1. I would love for them to lose week 1. And I'll tell you why. For teams that didn't do anything, and just because they talk a lot of trash because they think they're going to be something great, I would love to see them eat some humble pie week 1. And I will say, we're going to touch on the wins. I don't want to spoil anything because we did talk about it. So if you've been watching the shows, where me and Fish Tank are going to go on wins. But we're going to talk about it one more time at the end. But my brother's been pretty pissed off at me. We have been playing Madden. I haven't bought it, but there's a free trial of Fish Tank, which is, I'm sure you know what Madden is. It's a video game, pretty famous. Yeah. So I love Madden, but I didn't buy it this year. But I got the trial, so I was like, So I don't want to waste my time playing the franchise mode, which is my favorite, which is you build a team and you go through the seasons. I'm playing online against people. And I'm going to tell you right now, against strangers all around the world, starting this game off, I'm playing only the Dolphins. I'm the Dolphins. I'm 10-0. Okay? My brother, I told him, I said, hey, man, I go, look at this. I sent him a picture. I go, I'm 10-0. I just did this. He goes, I'll hand you your first L. I said, all right, bring it. He downloads it on his PS5. I'm still the Dolphins. I'm 3-0 against him. So I'm 13-0 against the Miami Dolphins. I beat the Dolphins twice. Somebody picked the Dolphins. Other people picked Dolphins. So it was Dolphins versus Dolphins. I still won. But lo and behold, I'm 13-0. So maybe this team might get 13 wins this year. I'm just saying. I mean, I haven't lost yet. I'm still going. And I have the perfect formula. Raheem Mostert lighting it up. If I start getting stopped, I just bomb it out to Tyreek, corner in the end zone. But anyway, so I'm having a lot of fun with that. But I just want to throw that out there. All right. So listen, I know you guys touched on
Hey,
this last
don't come on this show with your personal happiness.
That's my medicine, Fish Tank. Yours is green, mine's the video game.
Right
But but let me just in regards of this game tomorrow. I know you guys touched on this last night. And there's concerns amongst Dolphin fans on this offensive line even before any injuries. Okay? We both know this. For as much as you and I have done these shows now, again, 3 years, but this is the third season, going on for his third season. We've been talking about the offensive line. For 20 years, it's been talking on the offensive line. So I understand the fans' frustrations. And it rubs people the wrong way when your general manager says after the draft, hey, you guys are worried more about the offensive line than I am. And then lo and behold, you got Terran Armstead is out tomorrow. Supposedly, he might not even be ready for game 2. Okay. Yeah. Eichenberg and Lester Cotton are your backup guard and center. All right. We'll see what happened with Austin Jackson. I have hope for Austin Jackson. I'm not hating on him or not like that. But there is a lot of concern on that offensive line. But the saving grace of that offensive line, when you go, damn, man, the depth is a huge concern. What the hell's going on with left guard? I hope Austin Jackson does well. We know what Connor Williams is. After snapping the ball, he's a pretty damn good center. It's snapping the ball that's the issue. But the saving grace was Terran Armstead. But we knew, the injury bug bites him more than anybody, which sucks, but just the facts. $75 million for 5 years. Next season, it's not like you could, and I'm not advocating for that because he is one of the best at his position. But even if the Dolphins wanted to leave him or move from him, cut, I don't know about a trade, but a cut, let's say, it's going to be a $25 million cap hit around that area. So you can't. So I don't know how many games he's going to be out. We know it's week 1. We'll go week by week here. But how big of a concern, Fish Tank, truthfully, how big of a concern is it tomorrow not having Terran Armstead on that field?
He's a leader, and that does mean something, okay? But they're grown men also, and it's next man up. Fair. And in this case, it's Kendall Lamb, right?
Yep.
So it's not to his blind side, so I'm okay with that. The only thing I don't like is if Lamb doesn't play right, that's the side that Tua likes to roll out to. So, knowing that, there is a little concern based upon that play style. However, we have a lot of speed on offense outside of Tua. Tua doesn't have to roll out. He can hand the ball off and let them go out there and do their thing. So, like you were saying, you run with Mostert. What are you gonna do? Come in and load the box? Okay, then we'll go deep.
That's right. Like I do in Madden.
You think that you can cover both with man? That's fine. Then we'll have Barrios go over the middle and dump it there. You do whatever you want to do. It's not going to matter. The Miami Dolphins offense, I think, is better than their defense. And that's what makes the big difference.
So you're absolutely right. It is next man up, and the perfect world, it's next man up. What's scary about
next man up? I mean, Liam's got to be ready, Bobby. He's got to be ready.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And
no,
I don't look at it as our offense versus their offense or Tua versus Herbert either. I never look at it that way. I always look at it our defense versus their offense and vice versa. And, are there some concerns? You got Bosa on the other side. You better have a concern or two. Yeah,
Khalil Mack, Joey Bosa, and those are the guys. Yeah. And that's the thing. You think of their secondary, and you go, I think our receivers can handle their secondary. I'm not worried about that. Yeah. But what could help their secondary is their pass rush. And when you have, let's hope that Austin Jackson actually has grown. When you have Austin Jackson And then you got Kendall Lamb on your right and your left sideline with Eichenberg, with Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack trying to eat up at Tua. That's a concern. So that's what if we had a faithful guard or a guard that we had faith in at the left guard spot, not Eichenberg or Isaiah Wynn, okay, and we knew for sure, hey, we're safe, like we do with Robert Hunt. We have no question on Robert Hunt.
No.
We feel we're good with Robert Hunt.
Yep.
We have questions on Jackson because he hasn't performed well. We're hoping that he does better. He looks like he's in great shape, but we have concerns there and left guard. If we didn't have a concern at left guard, I'd be less worried. That's why I'm less worried about Austin Jackson, because I trust Robert Hunt. I'm less worried about the middle of the offensive line because I trust after the snap Connor Williams. It's that left guard spot that's the issue. And what sucks is now you're going to put Kendall Lamb next to Eichenberg with Joey Bosa, or Khalil Mack coming out. So yes, it is next man up. You're absolutely right, and I hope Kendall Lamb proves that he is, he could stand up for the job. I'm hoping that.
Hey,
but it's a tough situation for Miami. It absolutely is.
You also have a player that was drafted in the first round that played at left guard on the team already. Wynn.
Isaiah Wynn. He was drafted by the Patriots, played left tackle, and he got moved guard. Yeah.
That's what I mean. He played the left side as far as you could move Lamb to the inside and move him to left tackle instead.
I know, but here's I think I get where you're coming from, but here's where I'll push back just a little bit, is that he was drafted as a tackle in New England, and he was a bust. That's why they moved him to guard. So it's the same thing as moving Austin Jackson left tackle. We know how he did there, or Eichenberg. It's just that's what sucks. And I'm not trying to take away anybody's positivity. It's just throwing that out. It is going to be a problem tomorrow. It's a concern. You want to hope that you're, like Fish Tank says, next man up. That's my hope. I hope Kendall Lamb is the player of the game. I hope that offensive line, and I want to say, I almost did a hot take where I said, I think this offensive line doesn't give away any sacks. But it's hard to say that, of course, when Armstead is not there. But you never know. These guys might step up. Isaiah Wynn or Eichenberg, who was projected to be the starter for some reason. We'll see how it is tomorrow. We'll see how he does. Maybe they surprise us. No excuses, Evan says. I agree. This is a no excuse season. No excuse whatsoever. That means, but that's for the end of the year. That's for the end of the year.
Hey, the general manager made his big statement, so now we're going to find out, okay?
Yeah, absolutely, 1,000%.
And if not, he's going to get so much hate mail, it's not even funny.
Let's go ahead and let's talk about DraftKings, Fish Tank. DraftKings has the Dolphins as 3-point underdogs against the Chargers. Now, they did lose 23-17 last year. We do know how both teams look. We do know two very good young quarterbacks. Offense is really good, etc. I know where we stand on this, okay? But 3-point underdogs. They lost against the Chargers last year. Do you think that's fair or foul for DraftKings to make the Dolphins 3-point underdogs against the Chargers?
Somebody outside of the Dolphins, I think it's fair. And the reason I say I think it's fair outside of the Dolphins is because the Miami Dolphins have already been knocked out of the playoffs and everything else in most people's minds. I don't know how with our offense, but that's the way it is by most experts. We don't even make the playoffs. So I can't agree with what they say. I don't agree with that at all. So
fair outside of the organization because you can understand where it's coming from, but not fair really because okay. I would say it's fair just because of based off what happened last year and both teams are equal. Once I think Miami stops that, I think people will start to say under or over, excuse me. But right now I think it's a fair assessment to say, hey, they're 3-point underdogs. I think it's fair for an outside source to say that on all things considered. Evan says away game, people are still unsure. That makes sense. They do, though, have it, Fish Tank, that it'll be 51 total points. I believe it's 51. 51 total points. Both teams scoring 51 total points. Do you have over or under that amount?
That's like dead money almost. I'm going to say 24-27 Miami.
27-24.
Yeah. So just over.
Just over. Actually, right on. 27-24 is 51 points.
Yeah.
Even. You're at even.
But I got to pick one. So I'm going to go with the over.
Okay. I'll roll with the over. That's good. So for me, I have it on the under. I have it 45. I'm at 45. So I'm under. 45 total points. And I'm just rolling with that. Of course, we'll talk about the final score at the end of the show.
Which I already did.
Yeah, you put the final score. That's okay. It's all good.
That's how I think. I was adding my numbers.
Hey, you don't have to explain yourself to nobody, Fish Tank. You're Fish Tank Hank. Who gives a damn? You don't have to explain a damn thing. You go with it.
I wish that's the way it was, right?
I know. Listen, I'm not Evan. I don't hold your feet to the fire, okay? You know me. It's easy goings here in Vince Talk today.
Trust me, my wife will calm my butt down here in a minute.
All right. So look, let's get this ball rolling here, okay? Let's get into the game, all right, in regards of our keys to the game and then our predictions. Fish Tank, are you ready to put your figure? Oh, Eric, good to see you, my brother. Keys to the game. Your three keys. Obviously, it doesn't have to be three keys, but your three keys to victory for the Miami Dolphins to secure a win against the Chargers tomorrow afternoon.
Jalen Phillips has got to be active versus Justin Herbert. He's got to be. If we don't have any pressure on Justin Herbert, we're going to have problems. And I'm talking, if Wilkins wants his money, he better start earning it by pushing the center or somebody right in his lap while the other people are coming around the outside edge. So my first key is Miami's defensive line will contain Justin Herbert. My second key is Miami's offense will run the ball down the Chargers' throat. I think Miami's going to come out and try to prove something in the run game. And whether it's dink and dunk passes or whatever it is, they're going to be pushing the run game, I believe. I also think that our secondary is good enough, even without Ramsey, to still make an impact by intercepting Herbert when our defensive line is getting in there pressuring him. I think we're going to come away with a couple interceptions in this game.
There you go. There's your
those
keys
are my
to the game.
keys.
For Fish Tank Hank, those are his keys to the game. My keys are a balanced attack. Okay? Can't be a straight up passing contest. Don't have a shootout with Justin Herbert. Balanced attack, running and passing, 60-40, 50-50. Okay? You have enough talent. You're running. Yes, the Dolphins all off season, a little before season, try to get another running back. That's a legit back. Jonathan Taylor, Dalvin Cook, Austin Eckler, whatever you want to say. They were in on all of them. It didn't happen. But Jeff Wilson's out. But you still have Raheem Mostert. Okay, Chris Brooks. We'll see what happens there. We know how we feel about him, but it's an if. But I believe that Raheem Mostert is good enough to have a fair, balanced attack against this Chargers defense. They're going to be coming for the passer. They're going to be coming for the quarterback. So how do you balance that? Running the ball. How do you stop that? You run the ball. Give some open lanes for Raheem Mostert, for Savon Ahmed, for HA and whomever. Get some lanes. Get some pressure off your quarterback. And when the defense starts to draw up, kill him over the top with Tyreek Hill. You've got to have a balanced attack. Okay? You got to shake up the Chargers offense. That's number 2. The defense of the Miami Dolphins has been a lot of hype. Vic Fangio, a lot of people said, hey, there's some people that said I haven't seen a difference with this defense yet. Blah, blah, blah. I think you may see this difference tomorrow. Okay? I think they have to rattle Justin Herbert. That's hitting him. You got to get to the quarterback, and you got to make sure you got to take away his weapons. Your secondary has to step up, take away the weapons. Shake up that Chargers offense. Make them doubt themselves. Don't let them get on a hot streak. And third and final on mine, and I agree with Evan there. Yes, no turnovers, obviously. But I'm going to say adjustments as needed. Mike McDaniel's in his second year. This is no time for rookie mistakes. Not anymore. If they're taking away your passing game at the top, if you're only going passing or running, whatever way you're going there in the first half, and they're stuffing it, you need to make some adjustments in the second half. Same thing on defense. If they're killing you over the top, make some adjustments. Do not stick with the same game plan throughout the game. The coach cannot be out-coached again by Brandon Staley, Fish Tank. So those are my 3 keys to this game.
Well, those are pretty close to mine.
In shorter and nice, in simpler terms.
Mine is short and sweet, but yeah, it's pretty close
enough
to what I said.
Oh man. Evan says number 1 key: no turnovers. Jerome Baker is the one communicating with Fangio. Pigs fly. Bobby agrees with me. Time X time. There you go. All right, that's Evan Posner, host of the Fins Bandwagon. Eric says, Fish Tank. Yes, sir, Fish Tank. D going to be a big factor this year.
Yeah.
Now, we're at the
remember, this isn't going to be Boyer in the second half.
Yeah.
You
I'm
know
not
what
worried
I mean?
about
This isn't Boyer in the second half. That's not.
You see,
I was that
again. Yeah, you have your concerns with Boyer. I was never concerned with Boyer, and I'm definitely not concerned with Vic Fangio. I'm concerned with the coach about making adjustments. Our head coach, the head honcho. There you go. Snack on some. Jason Sanders, no misses. Absolutely. So now, Fishing and I will put our pretend Miss Cleo hats on to predict the future here. And it's been a while since we did that. All right, there you go. So, Fish Tank, tomorrow, Dolphins at Chargers. Remember last year in LA, the Dolphins lost 23-17. We talked about how ugly it was, even though it sounds like a close game. It wasn't. It was, Dolphins did not perform well. Start of a new season, 9-8 for the Dolphins last year, 10-7 for the Chargers. Fish Tank.
Let's get off year already.
It sucked. How does this year start off for the Miami Dolphins?
With a W.
With a win.
Big, fat win. 27-24 for that 51 points everybody's talking about. Everybody else thinks it's going to be the other way around and be the Chargers, but I believe it's going to be the Miami Dolphins. So screw the experts. They aren't always right.
Not always right, no. I'm rolling with a W2. I think the Dolphins start off with a win. They have a chip on their shoulder. They want to show that they could, they got embarrassed by the Chargers last year. They were 9-8 last season. I think they want to start off with a win. I think Tua wants to show that, hey, I was the right pick, even though I don't think Tua really cares, but I think that is there that, Justin Herbert and Tua are always going to be hand in hand. As long as they're both in the league and they're both performing the way they perform, you're always going to get that comparison. Oh, the Dolphins made a mistake. They should have went for the 6'4" guy who had a big arm compared to the 6-foot guy who could throw the ball perfect. Whatever you want to call it, it's always going to be there. Tua knows that. I think Tua's going to have a good game tomorrow, but I'm going to have it 24-21 Dolphins over Chargers. Start off 1-0 on the season.
Whoa, we are really close again.
We are close. You've
been looking at my notes.
I have. Your wife's emails them to me after she sends them. After I send you outline, she sends me the outline back.
All that time, and then you come on here and give this long dissertation while I'm just like, bam.
You gotta keep the content flowing. You know what I mean? You gotta draw this out. You know what I'm saying? All right. Yes. Rob's in the house. Rob of DolphinsThirsty.com. If you're thirsty for Dolphins content, go check out Rob's channel and his site. Evan and I will be back on tomorrow morning for the Dolphins pregame show. And, of course, then following the Dolphins game, we'll be on live for the postgame show. So Evan will save his prediction for tomorrow. Of course, I'll have a longer drawn-out responses for tomorrow, and I know Fish Tank loves that. So, Fish Tank, things happen. We know all the drama, the injuries, the whatnots, and now Terran Armstead is out for however long and all this crap. But, I know where we started and in regards of records, and I know how it kind of dwindles down or up or whatever. Fish Tank, your final Miami Dolphins season record prediction, what is it, sir?
All right, season starts tomorrow for the Miami Dolphins. And we've gone through trials and tribulations, to say the least, during our off season, especially with our depth. So my final just based on the fact that our depth isn't there, I have to go 12-5. I started at 15-2 at the beginning of preseason, before preseason, I mean. And it just no, they lost too much. They're going to lose a couple more games. I just can't see them just charging on through everybody. They're going to have injuries. Everybody has injuries. So, and if we don't start getting that left tackle and the offensive line doesn't work like Chris Greer says it will, then we're going to have a lot of problems. And we're about to find out because we're going to face a tough defense. You're going to face Bosa and Mack. And if that's not tough enough, I don't know who else they're going to get that's tougher than those two. But I think that we have a tough task, but I also think we're up to it. Fins up. 12-5.
There you go, Fins up. So I'm rolling. I'm sticking with my original prediction, and that's going to be 11-6. Injuries play a role on every team. That's true. But we know who the main, and at least for the Dolphins, the main corporates are that get hurt and whatever. We know Armstead, before signing him, had those concerns and starts the season that way. We know Tua throughout his career has had problems, not just concussion. I know people just hit on the concussions. I think he's going to be fine this year, God willing, with concussions. But you never know. He might be, again, I think he plays 15 games this year. That's my prediction. He's going to play over 13 games. But that comes into play here. That's where I stand. That's why I have 11-6, and I'm going to stick with 11-6. So, but we both have the team as a playoff team. We talked about it last week about how far they go. So we'll leave that at that. But yeah, 11-6 and 12-5 for me and Fish Tank Hank. Guys, it's going to be an exciting year. It's another year of Dolphins football. There's a lot of hype this season, as there is most seasons, but this one for sure. Our second year with Tyreek Hill. We got, Jalen Ramsey will be with us back in November, December when we're going to make that run. That December is the time where we need the Dolphins to play great football. Okay, the Dolphins, I believe, will be in it. Obviously, 11-6 will be in it. In that frame. Remember, they were 8-3 last year before going on that 5-game skid, and of course then Tua got hurt, and then we fell into the playoffs at 9-8. This year, think about it. When we get to that tough stretch in December, Ramsey's coming back. We don't know how Xavier Howard might be. There might be some injuries, etc. But we're gonna get that flashback, okay, which is be exciting. We're gonna get him in here, not even back because he never even played with us, but we're gonna get him into this defense. How exciting is that? There's a lot of things, a lot of X factors on this football team. This is it's a spark plug. Things could go wrong. Okay. Someone could be out for the season and totally mess everything up, but I think we're both very excited this year. Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle looking to make a major impact this year. He'll be back. Raheem Mostert. Hey, he's built some muscle. He's heard all the talk this offseason about adding a running back. He has a chip on his shoulder. Chris Brooks made the team after being an undrafted free agent.
Let me ask you something that's more important than all of that, all right?
Is it really more important?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
All right.
Did I interrupt you?
You did, a little bit. Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, then it's more important.
Oh, okay. Yes,
Are you
sir.
going to that Panthers game?
I haven't made a decision yet.
All right.
Why?
Ask. I'm going to go to it.
I know you are. You got season tickets.
Yeah.
Of course you're good. I know you are. Evan is planning on going. Alex is planning on going. I know Rob's going to be at that game. And like I said, in regards of pricing wise, they're the most inexpensive tickets to go to a game. It's just everything else that plays into it, Fish Tank. You know that.
Family and business come first.
It is. So, but that is my goal. I want to go to at least a home game and an away game would be my goal, but we'll see what happens. But yes, It is more important. That was more important question.
I wasn't, I wasn't prying. I was just curious.
I know. No, you're good. You're good. I appreciate you asking. I know.
It sounded like a good amount of people were going. There's also a good amount of people going to the game opener too against Denver. So that's going to be a big one. I'm going down there the 21st. and we're going to be partying from the 21st to the 24th.
There you go. A game opener. And let's hope they're 2-0 to start the season for that game opener. That'll be a great way to celebrate for those to hype up for 3-0.
Yeah.
But look, that's
I was
the
just
goal.
asking.
I appreciate it. No, and I said that's what I would love to do it. I really want to. And Evan, I know, has been asking me, and I really want to, and that's the hope. So we'll see what happens. But I'll tell you what, I'm looking forward to this season. I really am. Again, there's a lot to be concerned with. And like you said, Fish Tank, today is the day we stop. No more talking about last season or talking about the future. I don't care about re-signing guys next season. I don't care about a year ago or 3 years ago. We can worry about that at the end of the season. Then we could talk about the past and the future. It's about right now. Right now. So, guys, listen, we appreciate all of you. Again, you catch Fish Tank Hank every Saturday here or on Thursdays on the bandwagon. You catch me anywhere, everywhere, whatever. I'm around on Fitz Talk. Today, East 10th Street Boys, pregame and postgame. So much to talk about. Again, premiere of the pregame is tomorrow at 10 o'clock Eastern time. And then, of course, postgame at 8 o'clock Eastern tomorrow night after the game. So hit that like and subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you can know when to join us. And you should be able to pop in as well at postgame if you want to rant or rave about the Dolphins' performance tomorrow night or tomorrow afternoon against the Chargers. Fish Tank, any final words, my friend?
Yeah, I'm ready for the season. And I hope everybody else is out there because this is going to be one heck of a season in the AFC East. There is no gimmies. There's no gimmies in the AFC East. I can tell you that right now. But, I think we're built better than the other teams. So we'll find out. We just have too much on offense for most teams' defense. So we'll find out.
Amen to that. All right, guys. Thank you all for tuning in. I will see you tomorrow morning. Until then, like, subscribe, and most importantly,
Fins up.